What can you tell us about Ravan Rising? It's such an interesting story. You're telling it via a very interesting medium. What was
Yes.
the experience like?
It was a first for me to tell a story entirely through audio. Um, I think in many ways, everything that I've done as an actor has prepared me in one respect, but there was a lot to discover. And I think that Ravan Rising is a very fascinating take on the character. Of course, we all know Ravan from our mythology, and one has grown up with a certain image of the character in their minds. But this is the story of a young Ravan, and is coming into his own as a warrior king. And I think that there were many facets to the character that were so interesting and new to me as well.
Ishan, also, you've been dabbling with different mediums we've been seeing. You're very early on in your career. You've done OTT, you do films which get a theatrical release. Now you're also doing audio projects. Is this a conscious decision to be doing everything?
No, I'm just following where my instincts are taking me, and in terms of the distinction between series and films, I think so far I've only done limited series, which are 6 episodes or so. So it's kind of like an extended film, and my job doesn't really change. The way that your work is consumed is different. So that's something that you have a larger understanding towards and learn about. But in terms of the work, everyday work, um, it's not uh, terribly different from uh, each other in my experience so far. Um, but um, but yeah, these are all different platforms and avenues and different ways of expressing as an artist, and I think these are all things that I enjoy as a consumer, and they're all things that I enjoy doing as an artist as well. So why not?
So, makers these days have been experimenting a lot with fictional stories, fantasy worlds, merging them with the contemporary setup, bringing in mythology, bringing in folklore. And like for example, we have Brahmastra, we have Adi Purush. These films have been great. They've been able to deliver this. They've been able to repackage our age-old stories in a certain way and bring them to the new audiences. And somewhere, Ravan Rising also does that. How do you feel about that?
I think that in some sense we're all telling the same stories, and these are some of the greatest stories that have ever been penned. I think that they're like the foundation of all the stories that we have uh, you know told henceforth. So the responsibility then lies with the creators to do justice to it, and not lose the core simplicity of these stories, because there is so much you can get lost in and get carried away with. These stories are epic, and they are massive, so exciting. There are so many aspects to them, but I think the beauty in is always in the core human emotions that these stories convey. And yeah, and my hope as a creative person and as an audience is that while we find new ways of telling these stories, we don't lose that. We don't lose that which makes them beautiful and which makes them resonate, more importantly, and makes them relevant over time.